Greetings, everyone. Today we are back with another episode. So, in this episode, we are discussing about how the corporate life is, the expectations versus reality, and how the growth and productivity aspects are related. So, we have Jaya Babu ma'am with us. She's MBA by qualification and she's IT by profession and HR and CSR by passion, and she loves that basically. Apart from this, she has spent 23 years in IT around program, people, quality service, and operations. And basically, the core heart is CSR management. She has constant thirst for creating impact in anything she does. So, be it people or products or services. In her view, having the right talent in an organization guarantees success, which is very much needed for the for the business or any of the organization development, we can say, or in order to develop the peace and integrity in the society as well. So by leveraging her 23 years of constant service towards people management, she aspires to expand her people advocacy at a larger level to additional support to HR and CSR activities. So main purpose of her life is to create a world with good and strong people through building right attitude, right skills, and right habits. These are the key for success. So she is an inspirational public speaker and provides CSR sessions on life skills, soft skills, and she used to constantly conduct interviews. Uh, and she used to motivate people for taking interviews, facing skills, and all those kinds of activities which are needed in the corporate sector, basically in schools, colleges, and organizations as well. So she is an advocate for wisdom, emotional intelligence, and thoughtful HR practices. So I'm very much inspired to learn, to have an insights about how the session will be going on. So I think you people will also be interested to swing into this. She holds 3 popular recognitions in LinkedIn, such as Top Voice HR, Top Voice Conflict Management, and Emotional Intelligence as well, for her unique, original, and consistent contribution to these areas in the LinkedIn platform. So let's welcome Jaya ma'am onto the session.
Thank you, Tejasvi, for the warm intro. Truly humble to hear this introduction, and I just feel like doing more. And thank you for the invite. I hope the watchers of this video will benefit something from the knowledge and the life journey that I have. Thank you so much.
Exactly.
And LinkedIn, I have received 3 more recognitions in the last 2 months.
Okay.
Something on the motivational speaking and leadership coaching and conflict management and overall HR as well. So I wanted to add that to the list that you already shared for the audience
I
now.
will
Thank you
definitely
so
keep
much.
that into the mind while taking another session with you
Sure.
for our
Thank you.
upcoming episodes.
And this list will keep
Increase.
growing, I can say.
That's why people like you are needed in the IT, not only in IT, in every professional front. Then only the revolution will come. That's what my
Thank you.
belief is, and I have faith on you.
Thank you so much. And I must thank LinkedIn as well. It knows how to recognize authentic content, original contributors, and consistent givers.
Exactly.
And it does varieties of recognition, and I'm one of them. And I must say thanks to LinkedIn for that. Besides the recognitions received all these years, and the recognitions from LinkedIn actually means more to me because there are people that I haven't even seen yet in my life, and they appreciating the work for you. Somebody who knows you, they appreciating you is great, but somebody don't even know but they talk big about your work is a big thing. And thanks to LinkedIn as a platform, without which I don't think many even know me today. Thank you, Tejasvi.
So let's start with one of the most popular question, like how employee becomes an asset in the organization. What's your view into this?
How employee becomes an asset in an organization? Great question. Before I answer this question, I want to tell from my point of view the different types of employees that any organization would have. Yeah. So when we say organization, what is it? It's a group of people working towards accomplishing the vision of an organization.
Exactly.
Converting vision into reality. using process, tools, methodologies, etc., etc. Whether it is, IT organization or hospitality, agriculture, movie, banking, finance, consulting, education, whatnot. In any organization, you have employees, and
Yes.
they could be called differently, right? Tejasvi?
Yes.
So any organization will have employees, and
Hmm.
any employees can be categorized into three totally. Engaged employees,
Hmm.
quiet quitters, and loud quitters.
Hmm.
As per Gallup, it's a global statistical organization.
Hmm.
As per that, employees can be categorized into three buckets: engaged, quiet quitters, loud quitters. Unfortunately, every organization has only 23% of its employees as engaged employees.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The remaining 100 minus 23 either belong to quiet quitters, which I will define shortly what it is, or loud quitters.
Okay.
Let's start with positive first, right?
Yes.
So who Gallup says as engaged employees? So when I say employees, when I say organization, you can visualize even a resort, a hotel, a public transport company, a government company, IT company, agriculture. You can imagine any organization for that matter, yeah, as I speak. So engaged employees, which as per Gallup is 23%, they are the ones who thrive at work. Come what may, rain or shine. They like their bosses or no. Are they recognized or no? They keep striving for the best. They find meaning in the work that they do.
Exactly.
They feel connected to the team and to the organization. They feel proud of their work. No complaints. They take ownership of their problems and performance.
And that is important.
Yeah. Performance, I can take easily ownership. The moment it's a problem, it's not mine, it's my boss. It's because of my colleague. It's because of my spouse. So it's because of the tree that is in front of my house, right?
Yes.
So engaged employees take ownership of problems and performance. They go extra mile for themselves, for the team members, for the customers, and for the entire organization.
Exactly.
This type of attitude is only with 23% of any organization. As I said, different types of organizations, including banking, government, whatnot. The remaining 100 minus 23 belong to quiet quitters or, loud quitters. Who are they? Quiet quitters are someone who come to office, fill the seats, but they keep looking at the clock to see when it is time to leave.
Yes.
They put in very, very minimum effort just to escape any eyes.
Exactly.
And they're totally disconnected from the organization. Given a choice, they will leave the organization.
Fine.
Right? Loud quitters are those who harm the organization with their negative, references about the organization, negative talks about the organization.
Exactly.
Policy deviations, willful policy deviations. They don't connect with the organization, they don't contribute. They try to take the policy in hand and try to play around. Who can do anything to me? Kind of type.
Do we have any solution for them?
Yes. I mean, first of all, prevention is better than cure is my view, right?
Exactly.
We should not let such people get hired. Hiring is the place where you ensure that this scrutiny is done. You hire the people with right attitude.
Exactly.
Who form part of your 23%. If hiring is right and there is constant coaching and checking, I think most of the organization can be filled with engaged employees.
Okay.
So I would question the hiring as a process and constant coaching and mentoring a second process. You will see me
But
talking
how
about
in
few
that
more
hiring
nuances.
also, if interview you can judge the candidate, how we can judge the candidate based upon the 2 to 3 minutes of conversation? How that perspective can be long lasting if the candidate enters into the organization, the right attitude can be maintained, whatever has been performed during the interview rounds. Thus, it will be relevant when he or she joins the organization. That attitude will be everlasting. If that
It
question comes to
requires
us, then how HRs can handle those attitudes and those people onto the frame?
Sure. Tejasvi, I will be covering some of your questions throughout this session, and I would probably want to have a separate session on hiring if you can arrange for one more session where I can talk about, from my point of view, the right questions to ask to hire the right candidate.
Oh.
So, no regrets, no nightmares after you hire them.
Hmm.
For example, my 23 years of experience, I've always looked at attitude of the candidate. The least I would look at is their academic performance or their prior experience rating, anything else,
Exactly.
right? So you need to ask the right questions to get to see these nuances of the candidate, right? The questions cannot be, hey, what was the biggest project you handled? What was the worth of the project? 4 million, 5 million, 100 billion? And the moment somebody says, yeah, I handled $150 million project, then immediately the hiring panel might think, wow, such a big project, hire. No, it's not about the worth of the project the person handled. Talk about the complexities the person faced, the challenges the person faced, how he or she looked at the challenges as opportunities,
Exactly.
how they positively collaborated. We are not looking for heroic answers here. Hey, I made this upside down. I brought the moon to ground and ground to moon. Nobody is looking for such transformative answers. But in the situation, how did you react first?
Exactly.
Did you blame somebody? Did you take accountability? Did you collaborate further? So a lot of things like this we have to ask before even concluding if the person is the right person, or it's okay if the person never handled a big project, and that doesn't mean the person is not to be selected. Oh, this person never handled big project, so we can't hire. Not necessarily. Pose a hypothetical question. If you were to handle a big project of this work, and if you face this issue, what would you do?
Yes.
And let hiring panels have a forward-looking mindset too, not always backward-looking mindset. Like, for example, freshers may not have any examples to quote. Or even experienced people may not have the relevant questions or the relevant experience you're looking for. But still, with their diverse experience and transferable skills that they have acquired over years, how you think possibly he or she can convert that into usable skill set for the current role? It requires a different mindset, thinking, maturity. So that can be a separate conversation, Tejasvi. I wouldn't really want to talk about that now, but I'm looking forward to a dedicated session where we can talk about how we can ensure the right hiring happens so we don't hire wrong people.
Exactly. That is important.
Yeah, I'm so glad to see the moment you saw the definition of engaged employees and the definition of quiet quitters and loud quitters, you really feel like asking, Jaya, how do we hire such employees more and more?
Yes.
I really appreciate the thirst in you. And we really need people like you to be looking at, hey, what can we do different? What can we do more? Something is going on somewhere. In fact, I would say, Tejasvi,
Yes.
in the entire industry or across industries, there is a term called talent shortage. In my view, it's not a problem at all.
Exactly.
Talent shortage is an artificially created disaster. There are talent. What is short is hiring panel talent shortage.
Exactly.
Not candidates talent shortage. We have candidates with good skills and good open-mindedness, good level of adaptability. Unfortunately, we don't have, really mature hiring panels who can look at things beyond what the candidate says, discover the other things, and find ways how they can merge and marry these skills and get them to work and deliver beyond what they expected.
Yes, exactly.
Now tell me, what is short? Is talent short among candidates or talent short among hiring panels?
It's about the hiring panels itself.
Yeah, sometimes it could be that, but not the current talent shortage we're talking about as an issue in the candidates market. Not at all.
Mismatch of understanding kind of objectivity is missing between the candidates who are being interviewed and the interview panels. So that is a gap where people are not understanding what actually exists and how we can convert it into a transformative affront. So that's being the one of the biggest challenge in the industries across.
I'll tell you, Tejasvi, I know this discussion is getting very interesting. I've done several hirings in my 23 years.
Yes.
Whoever I hired in whichever company, they are still in the same company at much elevated level.
That's good. That's really great.
Yeah, and my interview did not take beyond 20 minutes. I would finish everything in one round. No technical round, no PM round, no leadership round. Yeah, HR round, I can't control that, right? I would really wish everything happens in one go, send the person off.
Yes.
So I believe in, the 60 minutes hiring where end to end everything is taken care, including offer letter.
Oh.
I would advocate for that. Unfortunately, I'm not a HR yet, right? So I have passion for HR. But I know there are a lot of forward-looking organizations who are, getting to believe in the 60 minutes hiring and finishing everything. And not just that, they are extending that practice from campus hires to even, corporate hires.
Exactly.
So keep the, interview process light, the same time sensible.
Yes.
And keep it as an exercise of conversation than an interrogation.
Yes, that is important.
Right? The interviews I've had where, I had to fill somebody for a particular position immediately. First of all, such rush is showing poor on your side. You are a poor planner. You can't say, I want a person next week, so I want only experienced people. That shows something went wrong somewhere, but exceptions are fine. Suddenly, somebody left the organization without telling you, or somebody passed away. Then you have to fill the position immediately. Those exceptional things, I agree, you will have the urgency gap, but everything else can be very planned and methodical.
Yes, exactly.
Right? And, I had a situation where I had to fill somebody urgently for an exceptional situation like this. I looked at one candidate and I didn't have many people coming for that particular role, but one person came in and said, Jaya, I don't know much about this, but I can learn. Many people may have looked at the profile, but they stopped themselves from approaching me.
Oh.
But this person bothered to come and check, I don't know much, but I can learn. Will you try? I considered the candidate. I said, hey, to play this role, I need you to know A, B, C, D, E. Let me ask you on a scale of 1 to 10. For A, B, C, D, E, what is your self-rating? And the person said, in A, I would say I am 2 out of 10. Fine. I'm 3 out of 10. Fine. In one thing, I'm 5 out of 10. Great. In one thing, I'm sorry, my knowledge is 0. Fair enough. You look at the honesty in the self-assessment.
Exactly.
What can attract you more than that particular trait, Tejasvi? Right? And then I said, okay, fine. The need is that you need to be at least 6 in these ones. I'm not greedy here, Tejasvi. Like some hiring panels will say you should be 10 out of 10 in all these A, B, C, D, E. I'm not that. Or you should be 9 out of 10. No, not required. If you are 6, I can run the show.
Yes.
Now to get yourself to 6 from each of this parameter, how much time would you take? Just 2 sleepless weeks. I'm giving you 3 weeks. I'm onboarding you, period. There was an honest assessment, honest discussion, transparent conversation, commitment, trust, right? This is how hiring has to be. Hiring doesn't have to follow your formal template, right?
Yes.
So in 20 minutes, the discussion got over. She was hired. She is working in the same program. I mean, I'm just picking up one example and saying I have many more.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So back to this conversation of whom do you call as asset, are really employees assets? I would say, to sum it up, Tejasvi,
Yeah.
in the categories of engaged employees, quiet quitters and loud quitters, we have to understand one thing: why we hire employees first in place. An employee is hired for what? For skills, knowledge, experience, attitude, and contacts, networking, whatnot.
Definitely.
An employee truly becomes an asset when he or she consistently contributes skills, knowledge, and effort to achieve organization goals.
Exactly.
Just because somebody is in payroll, they don't become automatic assets. At least that is not Jaya Babu's view. It might hurt others, but the view is not everybody who is on payroll is an organization's asset. In my view, the 23% we talked about, right?
Yes.
Employees who are really, really actively engaged, they are true assets. But there is a potential to convert the quiet quitters into engaged employees segment, but that requires a lot of leadership, cultural changes,
Yes.
coaching. Given a try, they might be converted into engaged employees. There's a possibility.
Yeah.
The rest, big question mark. When the contribution of an employee is more than what he or she is paid for, or at least they contribute for what they are paid for, even if it is not more, at least for what they're getting paid, if they're able to do justice, they're all true assets of the organization. Everybody else is a liability. It might hurt people, but that's the better truth to digest.
Exactly. So why people management is important in corporates?
See, we still haven't moved to a fully robotic environment.
Yes.
Right? We talk about automation so much. We talk about robots so much. We talk about AI so much. But we are still people-driven.
Yes.
Across industries. And that means people management is very important.
Yeah, exactly.
We have people helping an organization convert its vision into reality, as I said before.
Yes.
And for those who convert vision into reality, managing them is very, very important.
Yes.
And managing people means not just managing their work days, payroll, benefits. It's much beyond that.
Yes.
Managing people means managing people in their entire employee life cycle, from the time they are hired to fired, or from the time they are hired to exit, hired to exit or hired to fire.
Yeah.
Starting from attracting a candidate to become an employee through branding, etc., etc. Selecting them as hirers, onboarding them, giving them a great experience, engaging them so they are productive, motivated all the time. And even their separation, either they leaving voluntarily or they are fired, or whatever, they are choosing to go somewhere else, whatever it is. So from end to end, managing their emotions is, to me, true people management, and that is important.
Exactly.
In all these phases, Tejasvi, there are implicit and explicit expectations of, there are implicit and explicit expectations for every employee. Not every employee will say, I want this, but you as a leader, you as a HR should understand. Like, for example, they say crying baby gets fed first. But a true mother will not wait for the baby to cry all the time.
Yeah.
She can see the baby, clenching its fist, scratching its ears and moving its lips and moving the legs up and down and rolling. With that, a mother who is sensible will know that the baby is hungry or needs some food, right? She doesn't really wait for the baby to cry louder and then only feed. So a leader who is really authentic, genuine, will know and sense the unsaid requirements and expectations of their employees. HR too.
Yes.
And there where people management is so critical. And besides this particular people's sentiment, Tejasvi, which is understanding emotions and handling said, unsaid emotions and requirements, people management is crucial for increased productivity.
Yeah.
Increased customer satisfaction, increased market share. Because, effective leadership and communication with employees contribute to a positive work environment. Employees will feel like coming to office when they know there is transparency around them, when they know there is somebody taking care of me explicitly. There are two eyes watching me, my growth, my needs.
Exactly.
The employee productivity will increase when I don't feel like an orphan when I enter office. Imagine, you may have lakhs and lakhs of people, but when I enter, if I don't have a feeling of there is somebody there I can talk to.
Yeah.
There's somebody there monitoring my needs and my requirements. Then how will I be productive?
Yes, exactly. And here only the appreciation, recognition, all those key factors play a role.
Yes, very true. But the story here is it is not ending. I talked about 23% engaged employees, right?
Yes.
They do things without expecting for somebody to cuddle them, hug them, recognize them. Now, but majority are types where, they want things to be done to them explicitly. They want things to be, given to them.
Yeah.
So if you have majority of them as engaged employees, you don't really have to worry about inspiration, motivation, care, equal opportunity, all these things. You give or no, they will keep delivering the best. Unfortunately, your majority population is not that, which means you have to be more keen on creating an environment where the employees feel conducive to be their best. Right? And another thing is, Tejasvi, people management is usually seen as a HR responsibility.
Yes, absolutely.
Actually, it is every manager, every leader, they are responsible for it. HR is only responsible from the point of view of establishing policies /guidelines /processes /tools.
Yeah.
But it's the manager, the reporting manager /leader who actually, practices it day in and day out, and they have to feed the outcome of the processes back to HR and help them improve it. That's a different story, but it's with everybody, whoever is having a set of resources to handle.
Exactly.
So that is how I look at people management as a very sensitive topic, and it's a different skill set.
Yes.
I don't know if you have heard of it, Tejasvi. There are a few companies that I came to know who are replacing their managers with coaches.
Okay.
Because managers' full-time focus will be to make their resources deliver on target, deliver on time, deliver at quality, deliver as per the cost. So they're more deliverable oriented, missing out to look at the people aspect of their people. They are probably looked at as objects. It's a sad thing. Some people look at their team members as objects to deliver what are given to them, but you should look at your resources as somebody having minds and hearts, and go beyond and help them understand their own potential, get the best out of them, inspire them to go beyond and deliver more. All these things requires a coach.
Yes.
So people are slowly replacing their managers with coaches so they can, make them go beyond boundaries and do the best. So
That is
people
good.
management is,
That is really good practice. Every organization should slowly, dramatically come into that change. Possibly, people mindset will also change. Like, no, I have to report this. I have to report someone else. That kind of stress management and time management will also become efficient for both the people who are managing and who are working onto them. It will be a kind of collective collaboration, and it will be an open-minded discussion. Some sort of thing will come, and that will lead to a progressive and productive growth for
very
every.
true. Very true. See, if it is just managing objectives
Hmm.
and delivery, we just need administrators.
Yes,
We don't need leaders, right?
exactly.
We need leaders with coaching mindset, because you may not have all the right people all the time with you.
Yes,
There will be a disparity. There will be a difficult time. So how you still make things happen without hurting certain sentiments? So in fact, I was blessed to have some really really great leaders in my career life. Tejasvi, I must mention. In fact, some of the recognitions that I have today as an inspiring speaker, or a person with good articulation, or thoughtful in my approach, or good in writing, good in motivation, or I'm a good emotional intelligent person, whatnot, right? Anything that defines me as adjectives, I would say thanks to some of my great leaders whom I worked in the past. Honestly, I never knew I had all these qualities, including the speaking part, which I'm doing now.
okay.
One of my leaders called me one day and said, Jay, you should start writing.
Hmm.
I saw some of your writings, and I thought you can do more. I'm like, where did I write? What did I write? My simple mail replies, he found to be very well written.
Okay.
Simple mail replies in office, he found that I've written very well using right words.
Hmm.
Handling the sentiments of different region, culture. I kind of crafted everything so well, is what he said. He said you should write, and you can actually write books.
Hmm.
Initially, I didn't give much weightage to what he said. I thought maybe he's just trying to make me feel nice, right? And then later I found that no, he really meant what he said. So like that, there are some things which I did not even know which are my strengths. The great leaders I worked with pointed. So we need to have those kind of people for today's workforce.
Exactly.
Today's many of the leaders that we have today, they only know the strengths that the employees tell them that they have.
Exactly. That is true.
For example, yeah, right. For example, if an employee is reporting to leader A, whatever the employee tells leader A is what the leader A knows. Leader A ideally should know beyond what the employee shared as his strengths.
Exactly.
Hey, you said these two as your strengths, but I see 20 other. Then you are like, wow, do I have 20 more? Then you start thinking.
Yes.
And then you start building your empire. So that is the leadership we're talking about today, and that is only possible if the leaders are genuinely leaders and they have the coaching mindset.
Yes, exactly.
They say right, leadership is not about position and title. It's about inspiring others to become leaders, inspiring people around you to develop and grow.
Yes, very true.
See, for example, Tejasvi, if this video that you publish inspires a few people to grow, then you are a leader.
Yes.
So leadership is a gesture. It is not a title. It's not a position. There are people in title and position haven't done many things, not even a little bit closer to what I've seen people without position and power achieving.
Exactly.
So to sum it up, people management is an art.
Yeah.
If it's a science, we can just have it done by administrators with all due respect to administrators. But then why I use the word administrators? You don't really need to do much of thinking. There is no critical or complex thinking involved there.
Yes.
1 + 1 is equal to 2. That's all is required. But yeah, you have to do it with accuracy. That's a different thing. But
That's really important.
that's otherwise, yeah, it's a skill on
Yes.
its own.
Lastly, I would like to ask you, like, does really soft skill plays a vital role in workplace for the productivity or progressive growth of the employees, or hard skills are only meant for? What is the weightage if we can weigh for hard and soft skills? What implication it has towards the employees' growth?
Okay. So there are you need both.
Okay.
But soft skills can take you higher. The way I would classify skills, Tejasvi, in my view, there are 4 types of skills that anyone should have.
Fine.
Not 4 types of skills. There are 4 skills essentially, which I call as power skills in my sessions. These 4 power skills, if a person can have, he or she can have a successful personal, professional, social life.
Definitely.
The first and foremost power skill is emotional intelligence. It is the first and foremost skill. Today, the world is focusing mostly on academic excellence.
Yes.
Which we call as intelligence quotients.
Yeah.
And I feel very bad when in some schools where they have moral classes and the maths teacher coming and borrowing the moral class session and saying, I have some more portions to complete. Can you please give that to me?
This happens.
I don't feel really comfortable when people cancel the sports sessions, borrowing it for completing science curriculum.
Yes.
In my view, everything has to be given good importance, right?
Yes.
So the point is, today very little focus is given by schools, colleges, even organizations on emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? It is basically the ability to understand, my emotions, regulate my emotions using right coping mechanisms, and help others understand their emotions and help them navigate them with right coping mechanisms. For example, if I know I'm angry, and if I don't know how to manage my anger, I'm a fool. No amount of my great academic qualifications will help me if my CEO shouts at me and I shout at him back.
Exactly.
So let's say I have great academic qualification, I'm in a great cadre, but somebody shouting at me in a meeting, I'm shouting at them back. Loss. At that time, trying to understand why somebody is yelling at me. Are they okay? Is everything okay with them? Offering to take them for a coffee.
Exactly.
Giving some chit-chat time. That shows I'm emotionally intelligent. So, people who are emotionally intelligent are those who look at problems as challenges. They look at discomfort as growth. They look at failures as lessons. They look at fear as teachers. They look at pain as power. They look at triggers as real wounds. They look at rejection as redirection. They don't get bogged down by somebody rejecting them, somebody shouting at them. They look at every negative thing as a positive thing. They are called emotionally intelligent people, because a lot of things are...
We were discussing about something, emotional intelligence that you were telling about, which plays a key vital role over relationship building and the workplace as well. So I would like to understand more, like, does it enhance the growth progress in terms of long-lasting career for an employee to sustain in the same organization if these practices have been fulfilled? Understanding emotions, empathizing with people.
Yes.
Does this help the employees to sustain for a long run?
Yeah. it's more than staying in the same organization. It's not that somebody is staying in an organization for longer time, they're more loyal, and somebody is having a short stint, they are not, right? Today, people want to learn more and grow more and keep moving. So, somebody staying longer is great, but 5 years is a great time for a tenure. That's my view, right?
Yes.
But in the 5 years, what do you do? How sincere are you? How quick a learner you are? How collaborative you were? What you contributed over and above what you were asked to do, right? So I was talking about emotional intelligence as the foremost soft skill, Tejasvi, because they have these traits of looking at every negative thing as a positive thing. And they are the 23% engaged employees. Can you believe this?
My God.
So engaged employees, all the engaged employees are highly emotionally intelligent.
Okay.
So that is the connection. That exists between the engaged employees and emotionally intelligent people, because only an emotionally intelligent person can do what is right, irrespective of if others do right to them or no. They're not complainers. Oh, she didn't do, I will not do. Oh, he didn't come, I will not come. A boss did not speak nicely to me, I will not speak. They are right irrespective of the environment they are in. They will keep doing good irrespective of whether somebody else is doing good to them or no, right? They're beyond themselves. So this is one soft skill which today hiring organizations are looking at, because they have seen a lot of disappointments or failures in the past hiring, where they thought academic excellence would do wonders, and looking for prior relevant experience would do wonders, but then they have burnt their fingers in some cases that no, that is not something we should be looking at. Now the hiring criteria should change.
Yes.
I saw an article where Google and IBM said we want to give more focus on emotional intelligence in our hiring, because with that I will know when there is a project that's failing, the employee will not get disheartened and then spread that thing around, right? Rather, hey, yeah, it's a failure. Now what to do? Let's work towards the next steps. Is a mindset that an emotionally intelligent person will have, versus somebody who doesn't have that will get bogged down and start complaining about the program everywhere. Because of this leader it failed, because of that it failed. I am a saint all the time, right? So in fact, these companies say that people with high level of academic excellence, they are great in delivery. You can entrust them with the responsibility of delivering a big dollar program, but if the big dollar program goes well, they are good. If it doesn't go well, looks like they can't take the disappointment very easily.
Yes.
Have you seen suicide cases where you will not see a suicide case of a kid who just passed or who failed? You will not see a suicide case of, oh, this person failed, so he or she committed suicide. You will not see. But you will see suicide cases where this person did not get 99%, got only 90%, he or she died.
Yes.
Or this person did not get a seat in this premium institution. This person got seat only in non-premium institution, so he died. A normal academic background person will be celebrating his passing with pizza and Coke.
Yes.
Hey, I passed. Let's have vada pav. Let's have puri. Let's have pizza. But people who aim for perfection, when they don't get it, they kind of choose drastic decisions. So the point is, emotional intelligence plays a big role. Yeah, it's a failure. So what? Let me have resilience. Let me bounce back. Is the attitude that today organizations are looking for, Tejasvi. So this is one of the topmost, soft skill, I will say, that everybody should have. Today, 75% of managerial decisions around an employee's promotion and salary increase is based on the candidate's emotional intelligence.
Yes.
There's a saying from Daniel Goleman, who said, "Academic excellence can get one hired, but lack of emotional intelligence will get one fired."
Yes.
So, using this opportunity, I say, people have to develop more on this. There are various online tools that one could use to assess what their current EQ score is and have some target to improve it over time. So eventually we can get better at it. There is nobody who is perfect in everything.
Exactly.
But as long as I know I'm not great today, but I want to get better, I am in the right path. So you can, Google for online free emotional quotient / emotional intelligence assessment tools, and it'll list varieties of questions under different dimensions.
Exactly.
As we answer honestly, it'll give a true picture of who we are, what our score, and give us a window of opportunity.
Yes.
And the second most important soft skill, I would say, is articulation skills, communication skills. Be competent and dangerous than be vague and useless. It's a quote from one of my favorite philosophers, Canadian psychologist Jordan Peterson.
Okay.
I repeat this quote. This quote says, "Be competent and dangerous than be vague and useless." He has written several quotes. I'm a big fan of Jordan Peterson. And this quote always has a space in my heart. He says, "Articulation is never mentioned as an important skill in schools and colleges." Articulation is like given. If you want to get better in communication, it's your choice. And if you don't want to get better, it's your choice too. But nobody pushes for articulation. Articulation is not same as communication.
Yes.
Articulation is the highest form of communication. For example, let's say I come and say, "Tejasvi, make coffee for me." You will say, "No, Jaya, I'm busy." Right? But if I come and tell Tejasvi, I want to have a great time of 30 minutes and the magic lies in your coffee, what will you do?
Definitely.
You'll be in the kitchen next time.
Yes.
Right? So when I say make coffee for me, that is authoritative. But when I say I want to have a great time now and that magic lies in your hand, your coffee, even before I could tell you, you'll be in the kitchen.
Exactly.
That is articulation, the art of persuasion. You being able to create interest and impact in people without their permission.
Exactly.
So, yes, Tejasvi. And today that is required. Today, many people think I am an IT, I am a software developer, software engineer. I can just speak my local language. Though I am in a multinational company, I have my guys from my state, I have my girls from my state. I can just speak in my local language with local accent and then prosper. I'm sorry. You're talking about a place in a multinational organization where you will have people from different walks of life, different culture, with different language background. And if you're not going to connect with people outside your territory, outside your herd, then you're not going to learn anything much. You'll be with your own group people, knowing their own culture, their own rhythm, their own language, and not being able to learn from other culture, contribute to other culture. Not all of us are blessed to work with people from our background all the time. I might have to work with somebody from Australia, somebody from Thailand, somebody from London. And if I say I will only speak like this with my accent and that they can't understand, how can I communicate something to them, and how can I get things done through them, and how can I persuade them? How can I create impact?
Yes.
So today, communication skill / articulation skill has to be looked at as something that everybody must have in order to create impact.
Exactly.
And if you say, no, Jay, I don't want to create impact, so I don't need to learn it. Today, this world doesn't have place for people who can't create impact.
Yes. Definitely.
Right? It's very competitive. Why would somebody hire A over B?
Yes.
Why would somebody give an opportunity to C over D?
Hmm.
There could be a lot of reasons, but definitely articulation skills is one of them. I want to urge people watching this video to pay attention to improving their skills. It's not about communicating basic things. It's about, persuading people with your storytelling activity and your command over the knowledge, and with your logical reasoning, facts and figures, which are three types, ethos, pathos, and logos. Logos is about convincing somebody with your logical reasoning and facts and figures. Pathos is about connecting with people through empathy and whatnot, and ethos is about command over knowledge, right? So you have to decide how you want to persuade people and choose the right path. In fact, I would say there is a 14 minutes video by Jordan Peterson called Crafting Your Words Carefully. I would politely urge everybody to watch that video, because there Jordan Peterson says that, how important it is to have articulation skills. And it's essential for even a carpenter. With all due respect to carpenters, it's even required for carpenters, because carpenters will have somebody working with them under them. And you want to advocate a case for carpenter, or you want to negotiate more salary for your carpenter. Unless you have clear articulation skills, how will you get it?
Yes.
It's irrespective of whether you are a carpenter or a CEO, everybody should have articulation skills today.
Yes.
And let's talk about a case of a manager who is talking about promotion for his resource, right? If the manager is not able to clearly submit a case for his resource promotion, why he or she deserves the promotion over somebody else, unless you are prepared with facts and figures and reasons, other person will sell their resource and get the promotion for them.
Yes, definitely.
Who is a loser? I'm sorry, Tejasvi.
Yes, that is true.
So who is the loser? The loser is your resource, not you.
Yeah.
The loser who is waiting there thinking their manager is doing something great for them, because of the manager's lack of ability to be able to communicate, articulate, persuade the group. Who is the loser? It's the candidate. So in my view, articulation skills is the second most important skill, and third is upskilling. Alvin said the 21st century illiterate are not those who can't read, right? It's those who can't learn, unlearn, relearn. Today, layoff is more frequent. It's not that layoff is a new norm. Layoff has been there even before. I've read where GM has done many batches of layoffs in 50s and 60s. So layoff is not new term. But what is happening is there are more layoffs today. And layoffs have become more bold and open these days.
Yes.
Maybe because of social media, right? Now, the point is, Tejasvi, nobody knows who is next in the layoff list.
Yes, exactly.
Nobody can be sure, oh, my job is safe. And nobody can give the guarantee to. And the reasons for layoff could be different between different batches.
Yes.
Right? And the point I'm trying to say is there are different reasons why somebody could be laid off. But you can ensure by constant upskilling, you're not laid off because you are irrelevant to the organization. That is very much in your control.
Yes.
If not being relevant is one of the reasons why somebody is laid off, I can say that ensure you don't have that reason to be laid off. How? By knowing what your career path is. What is that you are doing today as a career? Is that your permanent path, or will you be changing sometime in the future? So depending upon your now, near, far career path, have a list of things that you have to learn.
Exactly.
Right? You may be doing a job because that is giving you bread butter, but your passion could be elsewhere. For example, I'm doing IT job, but my passion is to get into a HR role soon, which I will. Right? Now I am doing upskilling for my IT and also for my passion role, which is HR. I've done several upskillings for HR. right? Now, learn the upskilling requirements for chosen career path. I mean, one needs to have functional skills, technical skills, and transferable skills.
Exactly.
Today, suddenly, if somebody is fired, how will they find the next job? Unless they have some transferable skills which they can sell and negotiate, nobody will look at them.
Exactly.
Like project management skills, communication skills,
Hmm.
emotional intelligence. These are all skills that you can deploy in any role that you pick up.
Exactly.
While your technical skills such as Python, artificial intelligence, blockchain, they're very technical for a
Yes.
particular set of roles. But if you're laid off from that job and you have to be picked up in some other organization, yeah, you can still claim that as your strength and move on. But in the interim, you can use these transferable skills that you can possibly for landing in a job.
Exactly.
Right?
That
and
is-
own your development. I see many people saying, I don't have time for learning. I'm married, I have children.
Yes.
My wife is not here. I read a line which was very powerful to me. If you say, I don't have time, it means you don't want to create time, because time is something you craft and create. So own your development. If your alarm has to ring at 2 a.m. in the morning, do that. That's how you can carve time for learning.
Yes.
Put a plan, commit, invest as much as possible, self-fund your learning. Don't wait for your organizations all the time to fund. I had a mentoring case, a few years back, where this person said, hey, I want to do this, I want to learn. I said, please learn this. Check with your organization if they offered that particular support and avail it. And here I am after 4 years. Hey, have you done all those things? Where are you? No, Jaya, my organization did not fund that for me. And the person is still in the same level. I said, if the organization did not fund, why didn't you fund from yourself?
Yes, exactly.
Don't you spend money for festivities every year? Don't you spend money for vacation every year? Don't you spend money for insurance, medication? Look wardrobe. Look at investment for self. Look at learning for self also as a bucket, and plan for it every year. Don't say only company has to spend. If company spends, great. If company doesn't spend, it's greater, because that way you pay for your money. You will be more accountable and more committed for your learning.
Exactly.
And one more thing I will say, don't get overwhelmed by the learnings others do. Oh, he's learning this, looks like I should do. She's learning this. No, don't feel peer pressurized by the certification they hold. You have to know what your career passion, what your path. Learn that quietly.
Yes.
And training and development certification is an untold expectation. Let me tell you, between two resumes, one resume having cloud services certification versus one resume saying, I know cloud services, who you think the hiring panel will choose?
Certification.
But they won't say it.
Yes.
This is an untold truth. People look for certification, but they don't say it. In fact, they even say, you don't have to go for certification. That's an utter lie.
Yeah.
Don't go by those lies. Because they may feel if I say it, my management will hold me accountable, my HR will question me. They don't say it, but you need to have it means you need to have it. That's how one can be compared with the other person. One is having better edge over the other person.
Yes.
And leverage learning platforms, online platforms. There's Coursera, there is Udemy,
exactly.
there is Great Lake. There are several free courses. Get them. And prioritize learning over anything else, because you don't want to be given the reason of irrelevance for the layoff. While for other factors, other reasons, you have no control. This one, you have very much control.
Exactly.
I say this to people in my public speaking sessions, Tejasvi, which I won't repeat here. The one who keeps learning in the forefront is safer compared to the person who is close to CEO. The one who keeps learning in the forefront is safer compared to the close buddy of CEO.
Absolutely.
Right? That's the power of learning. And I want to use this opportunity to caution women. I read an article where I found an alarming data point, which is the percentage of women who upskill in their mid-career level is very, very low compared to the percentage of men who upskill in their mid-career level. At the entry level, women upskill, go for additional learnings. But once they reach 7 years, 8 years in their career, the upskilling is almost zero. I found the percentage to be 15% for women and 85% for men. This may not be telling the global data. It is probably from one of the learning databases, but there is still a story to tell and hear. So, we hear people saying it's not equal, men get promotions more, women are not looked at. There could be many reasons why women may not be there where they should be. It could be because of their family situation, or they didn't take the right things in the past, or it could be even negative politics that you have no control over, right? Financing positions, but learning is something very much in your control. And if because of that, you're not considered for next level, then that's something very much in your control and you can work on, while other things not in your control.
Exactly.
And the last skill, I'm sorry, Tejasvi, last skill, we talked about emotional intelligence, articulation, upskilling. Last skill is helping others. It's very unfortunate. I'm calling that as a skill because otherwise nobody pays attention to it, right? So help people around you. The more you help others, the more you will start appreciating what you have. The more you start appreciating what you have, the more you will get. The more you get, the more you can help others. That's how I find helping as a powerful thing. For example, the moment you asked me for this session, I accepted, because if this session is going to inspire some people and they have some takeaways, that's a help Tejasvi and Jaya Babu have together offered to society.
Exactly.
And if that could be multiplied further, then we are actually doing what we wanted to do. So help others is the last skill I've mentioned, but the most important skill, because the world needs a lot of helping hands.
Exactly. That is
So that's
truly on spot.
Yeah. Thank you.
That was really insightful to talk about how the changing dynamics of our corporate life and corporate sector is, and how to articulate ourselves into the changing dynamics. Yeah, I'm very much thankful to you to have you in my podcast and discuss about all those insights with you. Looking forward for more such topics, to have a candid conversation with you very soon.
Sure, Tejasvi. And one last note, networking is very, very important. Besides your technical merits, besides your communication traits, besides having a strong boss, your networking internally and externally is very, very important.
Yes.
So, but make sure your networking is organic, it's authentic and not desperate, right?
Exactly.
It has to be a conscious effort. You have to plan every day for networking, some kind of networking. And it should be a give and take. And have your networking constantly grown, because you never know what wonders it can do. Some of the wonders I have seen that giving me is inspiration. I draw inspiration from my network. I give inspiration. I draw learnings. I give learnings. I draw motivation. I give motivation. I draw benefits. I give benefits. So networking is, again, another underrated skill. And I would say, bigger the network and with more meaningful people, brighter your life from all angles.
Exactly.
And you are for yourself, you are your mouthpiece. Don't wait for somebody else to speak good for you and get the right things for you. You are your product. Imagine you are your company, you are your product. You should be your marketing agent, you should be accounts agent, you should be the product planner, product designer, delivery executor. Have all the responsibilities for yourself. Only when you own yourself, you take responsibility for yourself, you'll be able to establish the path for yourself.
Exactly.
Thank you once again for the opportunity, Tejasvi.
Thank you very much for your time and patience.
Sure.
Looking forward. Thank you.
Thank you.